thought. For this? She feels a sinking darkness, like she's slipping underwater, remembering their bickering before bed, how she'd caught a glimpse of Jason rolling his eyes at her just before she turned out the light. Hearing the rustling again, she takes a last gulp of lukewarm coffee from a mug with "Do more of what makes you happy" printed on its side, and stands, determined to find the cause. When she steps off the porch, the wet grass tickles her feet, dampening her slippers, and she reconsiders for a moment, glancing toward Mr. Marchetto's house, where she can see her neighbor in his open window preparing breakfast. But that sound! It's almost like cellophane crinkling, but there's a chirpy squeaking, too. Maybe chipmunks? She's used to spotting all sorts of animals in her yard. People back home in Georgia can't believe her when she tells them, but even though she's barely 5 miles from the D.C. line, she frequently sees deer, raccoons, and families of foxes frolicking in the grass. Mr. Marchetto even saw a coyote in their driveway once. The wildlife tortures Sylvie, their elderly golden retriever, and Charlotte's relieved that the dog is still inside, having taken over her spot in the bed the minute Charlotte got up. Once upon a time, they wouldn't have let Sylvie on the bed, and for a while she was banned from the room due to her tendency to sit right beside the bed while they were having sex, watching them so intently that it was like she was a judge on one of those TV dance competitions. But now, it seems like a moot point. The last time they had sex was 7 months ago, and even then it felt more like an obligation because it was Jason's birthday. Over 7 months, Jason had said last night when she pushed his hand off her hip. "I'm too tired," she said. "I had too much wine." She turned off the lights and they turned their backs to each other, and in the tense, awful dark, she reached out for him, feeling guilty. She's told him that it bothers her too, how they never even try anymore, but that's a bit of a lie because while she misses the closeness they once shared and the intimacy that was more than just physical, not having sex actually feels like a tremendous relief, one less thing on her to-do list. He didn't respond to her hand on his shoulder blade last night, her half attempt at an apology. She turned back over. She went to sleep. The sound, Charlotte realizes as she makes her way through the damp yard, is coming from the other side of the deck. She crouches, taking tentative steps, remembering the time years ago when they were having dinner on the porch and watched a fox snag a squirrel right off the trunk of one of the oak trees. Or the time when Jason, digging ivy out of the flower beds, discovered a copperhead coiled just feet from where Birdie had been jumping rope less than an hour before. Charlotte begged him to call animal control, but he refused, instead insisting that the best thing was to just leave it be and let it go on its way. "I'm a keeper at the National Zoo," he'd said, laughing as he followed her into the house. "You really think I'm going to call the morons at animal control?" She takes one final step around the deck, and then she sees it. "Oh!" she gasps. There is not just one animal beside the deck, but she counts 1, 2, 4 bunnies. A perfect little bunny family. They're huddled together, 3 big ones and a baby, and they are feasting on the leaves of her rhododendron. Instantly her hand goes for her phone in the pocket of her robe. She stretches her arms out to take the photo. It's a flawless shot with the pink petals in the background, like something you might see on a wall calendar in a pediatrician's office. When the clicking camera sound punctures the air, the bunnies freeze, their paws poised perfectly in front of their little chests, their big gumdrop eyes trained on her, the middle one, the smallest one, with a triangle of green leaf poking out from its mouth. Yes, it's perfect. The bunnies scurry off and she walks back to the porch, a wave of satisfaction settling over her for the first time today. She opens Instagram, composing a caption in her head. "Birds chirping, sun shining, and these little guys making my backyard feel like something out of a Disney movie today," she types. "Happy morning, friends." She hits share and then immediately begins swiping down, one time and then another and then another. Within seconds, there are 153 likes. Her 93,000 followers love these sorts of posts. Simple, wholesome, happy. She sits, picking up her